What is up? What is up? We back in black in this bitch. Man, it's cold than a motherfucker outside. Man. Man, what is going on? Hey, man, what's going on with you? 066, I see you. Yeah, nigga, I'm back. It's cold to the motherfucker outside too, nigga. I don't know where you at, man. Where you located at? Cause it's cold to the motherfucker out here. It was snowing. Man, shout out to everybody that's at the corporate plantation in this cold ass motherfucking weather, man. It's cold to the motherfucker outside, man. I'm telling you. Shout out to everybody that's out there handling business at the corporate plantation as we speak. Trying to get that bread. If you in Las Vegas right now, I know you cold, cause it's cold as fuck. I'm talking about it's cold, nigga. But it ain't cold enough not to get you some sea moss in your life and some lemon water. Shout out to everybody that's trying to go to that corporate plantation and not slap the shit out of a European. I say it every week, all day, every day, because them niggas make it hard for you, don't they? They go out of their way, acting like white privilege don't exist and shit, and like racism and white supremacy don't exist. Motherfucker be like, man, aren't you happy that Joe Biden's in office and not Donald Trump, Jerome? And I'd be like, nah, I don't know, man. I don't know. What's going on, Tyrone? You should be happy that Joe Biden's in office, you know? Trump was a racist. Yeah, clown, and so is Joe Biden. Fuck out of here. Man, so shout out to everybody that is loving life and living it. And if you ain't loving life, I understand, because if you black and white America, you should be mad. If you're working at a corporate plantation, you should be mad. I don't know why you're not mad. I can't be around motherfuckers that be jolly and happy. Those are the Sambos and the Mammies and the Coons. That be like, I was just happy that they gave me a little something. Gave me a little pat on the head. Sound like the nigga in To Kill a Mockingbird. I felt quite soft, boy. Fuck out of here, nigga. Tired of those niggas too. Shout out to all the motherfucking niggas that's at the goddamn corporate plantation begging. My niggas, we gotta stop going to the job and just begging niggas and asking niggas for money and all this other shit, and rides and all this other shit. I just be like, God damn, niggas, come on, man. Come on, man. We gotta learn how to start finessing other niggas, not the niggas that you around all day. Anyway, man, we got a lot of shit to discuss. Shout out to all my women out there that's trying to sell a pussy hole in this 30-degree weather. I still seen bitches on the motherfucking whole stroll. Talking about, hey, daddy. All right, god damn. It's cold than a motherfucker outside. You might need to airdrop that pussy hole. You might need to do some shit like that, man. But anyway, shout out to all them. Man, and shout out to all you motherfuckers that are not looking at the bullshit but understand what the bullshit is. But we gonna definitely get into the executive benign neglect by Joe Biden. All these niggas put this nigga in a position of power again, but this nigga's every executive order he signed had nothing to do with black folk. It had everything to do with the LGBTQ, the Latino community, the people of color, all the shit that Dr. Claude Anderson talks about in every damn near book he wrote. Talks about these broad ambiguous terms, so we can get into all that shit, man. And I'm very interested to see how all my sister girls and the AKAs gonna act when they see Kamala Harris put an East Indian in office, but not no sister. What happened to the Pine Sol lady, Stacey Abrams? Motherfuckers ain't talking about that bitch though. But that's what you suck ass niggas get for taking your ass down there. We gonna focus. We got to get Donald Trump out of there. Yeah, right. And now they about to legalize 11 million immigrants. That's gonna take niggas' jobs and niggas' wealth that they built for this country. So that's what y'all niggas get. And we gonna get into it. So shout out to all the real niggas that really know what it is. If you were to write a book, what would you write about? Maybe you can answer that after the main topic. We gonna get into, hey, remind me of that, because I don't want to lose topic. You already know, man, I've been coming up with some cold shit. But I'm gonna tell you at the end when we get into it. So remind me of that, because that's when you say that, because I've been really, as Martin would say when Varnell Hill was on the show, I see you jotting, nigga. I see you jotting. Yeah, I've been jotting down ideas and shit, and I do want to write a book. But my book is gonna be called, and I'll discuss that later on. But man, we about to get into it, man. So shout out to everybody that's handling business. All you people that's out there, melanated, highly favored, support a black business. Go get you some books. Go study, read. I'm still reading The Destruction of a black civilization, don't speed read. Get you a highlighter and highlight things so you can always go back and reference those things, man. Do your studying. Know your history. And if you don't know your history, be on a quest for knowledge of what history is about. Because a lot of times they say history is his story. So you already know what it is, man. We're going to get into it. Hey. Man, let me start this down. Hey, man. Let's get on. This is my question. Before we really get into it, this is my question. Where's all these black folks and all that energy about voting Joe Biden in and Joe Biden gonna change it and he not racist? But the nigga just signed all these executive orders, but it ain't got shit to do with black folk. What did Dr. Claude Anderson teach us about broad and ambiguous terms? You know, people of color. And they just lump us all together. LGBTQ, humpback, Jews, gays, midgets. That don't got shit to do with us. How is it? This is the question that I'm asking. I'm ask people questions. How is it that foundational black Americans, native black folk, as Dr. Claude Anderson calls it, foundational black Americans, as Brother Tariq Nasheed calls it, I use those terms interchangeably. Why is it we build the country, but we always the last on the list to get anything? And if it is, it's Hansel and Gretel crumbs. It's some shit that niggas done already picked through. And this is the reason why. Y'all need to go watch this movie called The Hoodlum. It's called Hoodlum by, it's with Cicely Tyson, Lawrence Fishburne. It's got hella people in there. And it's about the 40s and the 50s with Madame Queen and Bumpy Johnson and Dutch Schultz and Lucky Luciano. And then there's this scene in there where Dutch Schultz, a Jew, he has this black dude working for him. And Dutch Schultz he's a real racist. People think Jews love, no. You better go read The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. Well, he's got Clarence Witherspoon III as one of his henchmen. So Dutch Schultz is having dinner with, kind of lunch with this cop. And the cop is on his payroll. And the cop hate niggas, but he be fucking black women. Them type of niggas. Them type of white supremacists. So they having dinner or whatever, and Dutch Schultz done picked all through the sandwiches and scratching his balls and digging in his booty and his nose and all this other shit. And then he tells Bub, that's his character, that's the name of the character by Clarence Witherspoon III. He tells Bub, hey man, take these sandwiches home. And Clarence Witherspoon III character is like, nah, Dutch, I'm good. I'm just gonna go home. He's like, nah, man, take it home to your family. And then he's like, no, Dutch, I'm cool. And then Dutch Schultz, because he's in front of another white supremacist, had to show who's holding power. He said, no, don't be fucking proud. Take the fucking sandwiches home to your family. So then he wrapped them up. You know, Clarence Witherspoon's character wraps the sandwiches up. And now Dutch Schultz and the racist white supremacist cop, the race soldier back then, he's laughing at Dutch Schultz. Because he's laughing at Clarence Witherspoon III because he's like, well, nigga, you not me. And then at the end, he said, hey, man, you know, you good? And he said, thanks, Dutch. I appreciate it, Dutch. And then Dutch Schultz says, it ain't fucking nothing. And he kind of just laughed at him after he picked through it and it was nasty. That type of shit. It's like eating out of a dumpster. That's how they view us. So why do you think that they are going to enact laws and put laws in place for black folks economically to move forward at least one iota? They don't give a fuck. But that's what you dumbass niggas get. I'm talking about the niggas that's my age. I'm not talking about elderly people that they rest and they hope in getting Donald Trump out. I'm talking about black folk, melanated folk that have read Dr. Claude Anderson's books. All you got to read Powernomics. If you read Powernomics, at the end of the book, it got this checklist of things that you should be asking and comparing politicians to. Did they meet this requirement? Did they do this? Do they do that? Did this? It's at the end of the book. If you read that book, then there's no way you could be telling me, like, we just got to get Donald Trump out of office. Come on, man. Now you done got him out of office. He done signed an executive order. It ain't got shit to do with no niggas. And now when you see black folk running and hiding, and oh, well, we got to wait for the next round. They going to do the same shit they did when Obama was in office. This is a dumb... First of all, this nigga's trying to move to put Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill and then Andrew Jackson on the other side. What kind of shit is that? That's like me saying, hey man, I'm gonna come up with some clothes and I'm gonna put the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on one side, and I'm gonna put a big time Jewish person, white Jewish person on the other side. You know how many Jewish people would be like, nah, you're not doing that. We're not finna be nowhere near the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And they're not even gonna call him the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. They're gonna talk shit about him. But here we are, here we go with the symbolism and the Harriet Tubman bullshit. That's how you know the dollar ain't worth shit when they want to put a nigga on it. That should tell you how they feel. The dollar ain't worth shit, so they like, just put a nigga on it. More symbolism. But this is dumb shit that niggas don't see. Kamala Harris, she had a chance. She a sister girl. She an AKA. Then why you ain't appoint no black sister, foundational black American in your cabinet? Because she don't give a fuck. These are immigrants. These are not people that are from this country. These are people that come here to do better than us. How many times have I told black folk are other racial groups' punching bag, welcome mat, doormat. They don't give a fuck. That's why they didn't like Donald Trump, because Donald Trump was an equal opportunity racist. He didn't like black folk, but he didn't like everybody else either. And that's what other racial groups didn't like. As long as niggas are the butt of the joke, they'll go with it all day long. But when it's not directed towards niggas, hey, you know what I'm saying? And that's how it's always gonna be. And I don't understand why people think for 1 second that these niggas fuck with you like that. Man, I was looking. Let's see. January 26th directs the Department of Housing and Urban Development to review the Trump administration's regulatory action for their effects on fair housing and to then take steps necessary to comply with the Fair Housing Act. All this other shit. And then he got shit about for the Latinos. He got shit for the motherfucking. Oh, he got shit for everything. But he ain't got shit for no niggas though. That's what I didn't see. I didn't see no shit for no niggas. Let's see if I can find some audio of and to see what he talk about, because I noticed he didn't have shit in there for no niggas. He got shit for healthcare, of course. Let me ask y'all something. Why are we still talking about healthcare 30 years later? But Canada got it for free? That don't. First of all, black folks should have free everything. We should have taxes. We should have free healthcare, free education, and we should have that bag. We should have all that. We're the people that built the country. No, we too busy letting every other racial group tell us what we need. How about you go to a Jewish community, a white Jewish community, and tell them what they need to be doing and see how long you last in that community? Finally, Biden is expected to center on immigration on Friday with executive orders on regional immigration and border processing, the U.S. refugee policy, and the establishment of a family reunification task force, basically helping out immigrants, which ain't got shit to do with no niggas. Stimulus status. So what's up with the checks then? The relief package includes a $1,400 bump for stimulus checks, more aid for the unemployment, additional support for small business, and increased funding for vaccinations. So where's the motherfucking money at, nigga? Those are just a few things, supposedly. But let's see if I can get some audio and see. You know what I'm saying?
We need more, and we need to move.
Let's see, because I ain't playing no motherfucking commercials. We just finna see what they talking about. Because I'm dying to know what the fuck he got to say. Motherfucking Joe might have Alzheimer's or some shit. Okay, here we go.
And we need to move fast.
President Joe Biden, in his second full day in office, zeroing in on the second major crisis facing his administration, a teetering economy.
So now is a moment not to undershoot or to wait and see. Now is a moment to act.
With new weekly unemployment claims still hovering just shy of 1 million, Biden unveiling a pair of executive orders. One that would expand food assistance, speed up distribution of stimulus checks, and expand eligibility for unemployment benefits.
I've yet to hear anything about black folk, though. Let's see. Let's see if it's gonna play. Hold on, cause this shit, it's on CNN. And when you go in on CNN, let's see. All right, here we go. Let's see what else they say. Keep trying to go to commercials and shit. I ain't fucking with no motherfucking commercials, nigga. This ain't ABC, NBC, none of these C's. Fuck out of here with the bullshit, nigga. Let's see.
Office zeroing in on the second major crisis facing his administration, a teetering economy.
So now is a moment not to undershoot or to wait and see. Now is a moment to act.
With new weekly unemployment claims still hovering just shy of 1 million, Biden unveiling a pair of executive orders. One that would expand food assistance, speed up distribution of stimulus checks, and expand eligibility for unemployment benefits for workers who refuse jobs due to unsafe working conditions.
We're in a national emergency. We need to act like we're in a national emergency.
Yeah, right.
So we've got to move with everything we've got. And we've got to do it together.
And one that lays the groundwork for a $15 minimum wage for federal workers. The executive orders capping a week of more than 24 actions to try and ramp up or completely reverse his predecessor's efforts to deal with the same issues. But as the White House grapples with a cascade of economic and public health crises, concern that its sweeping $1.9 trillion stimulus proposal has already run into partisan roadblocks, with conservatives and moderate Republicans alike blanching at the price tag. The White House, despite its flurry of executive actions, remains unbowed in its push.
We're at a precarious moment for the virus and the economy. Without decisive action, we risk falling into a very serious economic hole, even more serious than the crisis we find ourselves in.
But it's an immediate and potentially seismic challenge for a president who has made clear that bipartisanship is his preferred route. Still, a signal that some of the logjam is starting to break on at least one issue: the president's cabinet. Retired General Lloyd Austin confirmed as defense secretary, the first black leader of the Pentagon in U.S. history, with Democrats saying Janet Yellen and Anthony Blinken, Biden's picks for Treasury and the State Department, will follow in short order. A team coming together as the stakes only get higher by the day.
We have the tools to get through this. We have the tools to get this virus under control and our economy back on track. And we have the tools to help people. So let's use
Yeah, right.
the tools.
Help people do what? And see, this is the thing too. You notice how they mention a black brother, the first black leader of the Pentagon. Get the fuck out of here. We don't want no symbolism, nigga. We want reparations, nigga. Cut the motherfucking check, nigga. Black folk is tired of going to work and working for y'all. Why don't y'all just give us our money? We won't fuck with y'all no more. Give us the money y'all owe us. I'm tired of motherfuckers talking about, I don't need no handout. Nigga, it ain't no handout. My ancestors built this country. So you just give me the money you owe me, motherfucker. I want to hear that shit about, nigga, I ain't, and I'm tired of niggas speaking like that. Like they trying to have some type of pride in front of white folk. 99% of niggas ain't got no pride when it comes to white folk. They will bow down, acquiesce, all of us. If you go into a corporate plantation job, your pride is out the window because you working for them and you do what they tell you. You do what they tell you to do. So I don't know, I understand why motherfuckers want to buck dance and perform in front of white. I don't need no handout, man. I earn my own money. Fuck that, nigga. I need the money you owe me. If a nigga owe me some money, nigga, hey, we gotta holler. We gotta talk about it.
Cabinet. Retired General Lloyd Austin confirmed as defense secretary, the first black leader of the Pentagon in U.S. history.
The first black. You see that symbolism? The first black leader. All symbolism, all deflections, all motherfuckers that ain't gonna speak up about no reparations. This is what I mean about Sambos, Coons, telling about the gun line boss, Hayward Shepherd ass niggas, and Stephen from Django's. These are the motherfuckers that they place in front of you and be like, see, you need to be like them. If you at your corporate plantation, just take a look around you. You see them. You always gonna find one melanated brother or sister that's gonna take the job and do it and act like Dr. Dre from the Wash and be cooning and buck dancing and samboing and kissing ass and doing all this other shit, thinking that they gonna get a pat on their head and get a big breadcrumb. And then when they don't get what they want, what they do? They go back to their black folk talking shit about white people or talk about shit about the job, period. Yeah, fuck this job. Once they don't get what they want, when black folk be on a code and be like, well, we don't want no positions. What do you plan on giving us as far as money that is owed to us, reparations? What do you plan on giving us what is owed to us? We built the country. And no, I don't want to hear nothing about we need to be a more and be sovereign and all that and status change. Oh, man, fuck all that. Man, I don't want to hear that shit. Jewish people had to change their status to get their bread, so why the fuck do we got to change ours?
With Democrats saying Janet Yellen and Anthony Blinken, Biden's picks for Treasury and the State Department, will follow in short order. A team coming together as the stakes only get higher by the day.
We have the tools to get through this. We have the tools to get this virus under control and our economy back on track. And we have the tools to help people. So let's use the tools. All of them. Use them now.
Nigga, what? He said use them now. Oh, man, I guess, man. Motherfuckers, I'm trying to find this one where you talk about racial equality, too. I'm trying to, look, that's what y'all see me doing. I'm trying to find this shit, man. Where the fuck is it? I think this is it right here. Hell yeah, I think this is it. I'm gonna wait for that commercial because I want to see what the fuck he gonna say. I'm very interested to see what the fuck this nigga gonna say about racial equality. Because I want to hear him mention Latinos and Asians and humpbacks and midgets and all them other motherfuckers, but they ain't got shit to do with no niggas.
Arrived as a nation where we face deep racial inequities in America and systemic racism that has plagued our nation for far, far too long.
For 450 years.
I said that over the course of the past year that the blinders have been taken off the nation, the American people.
Well, if the blinders have been taken off, then why don't you just write that check for reparations? We'll take about $60 trillion. We'll take whatever gives every foundational black American about $10 million cash. You feel me? Between $5 and $10 million. You feel me? And then you don't have to worry about seeing you don't have to worry about seeing me ever again.
What many Americans didn't see or had simply refused to see couldn't be ignored any longer. Those 8 minutes and 46 seconds that took George Floyd's life opened the eyes of...
Here we go. George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and say her name and Sandra Bland. We know that. See, what did I say before, man? White supremacists will always tell you about shit you already know. Oh, well, you know, George Floyd and Philando Castile and all these people, but you never know. If you always notice, they don't never have a plan on giving you no money. It's always a plan to help everybody. But we're the people that built the country. I always use the same analogy. If you built a house for somebody and they got you living in the back in a fucking doghouse, but you built the house for these people, and then they have kids, and then you have kids, and then you tell your kids that you built that house, and then your kids tell their kids that you built the house, and then the people in that fucking house that you built know that you built the house, and they just keep having kids and keep living in the house and don't give a fucking act, and then tell you, well, it ain't my fault that you built the house and we didn't pay you. That's not my problem. Kind of is, though, because you're still living in that house. And that's exactly what the fuck is going on right now. Every person that's a part of the white dominant society, that you are direct beneficiaries of slavery. That's black labor. So if you're not trying to repair it and give niggas the money that you owe us, then why the fuck? Then I don't need you marching with me. I don't need you holding up your fist. I don't need you trying to tweet no shit. Fuck a tweet. Nigga, we need bread. Fuck all that bullshit. That's the problem. Don't nobody want to ask the tough questions. That's why I don't even... Man, when I get around the dominant white society as a whole or just other racial groups, the first thing when they try to bring, I'd be like, you don't even want to hear what I have to say because it's going to bother you. Oh, no, I said no because it bothers most people because most people have no idea of what has taken place in this country. So I'd rather not talk about it. And people just leave me alone. Sometimes they just look at the books I'm reading, especially if when it was Black Labor, White Wealth, motherfucker, they didn't want to ask me what that book was about. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times I think we feel like we're supposed to be explaining to these people about what they've done or what has taken place in this country. These people know what the fuck has taken place. And the people that are deflecting and acting like they don't know what the fuck is going on, those are the main people you got to look at because they'll be looking like they're great actors, very good thespians. You know, racism is just, we got to do something about racism, you know, because... And then they'll flip it and be like, you know, that's why it should be free education and all this other shit, right? But they'll never talk about money or making you equal to them. It'll always be where they can help you, but you're still in a subservient position to them. And you're submissive to them. As long as you report to them, they have no problem with black folk. But the minute you're equal, they got a problem.
Millions of Americans and millions of people around all over the world. It was the knee on the neck of justice, and it wouldn't be forgotten. It stirred the conscience and of tens of millions of Americans. And in my view, it marked a turning point in this country's attitude toward racial justice. When the six-year-old daughter, Gianna, who I met with when I met with the family,
which you don't even know and you don't even care. Somebody gave you this speech and wrote it for you. And this is to placate to the Floyd family and make them feel like, you know, what happened to them really, really mattered. They don't give a fuck about none of that shit. They don't care. You just bringing it up to quell the storm because a lot of black folk are pissed off now because now you got all these cabinet positions. You ain't really appointing no black folk. You ain't talking about tangibles. And then when a nigga confronted you on it, you said we need to start working with the Hispanic community.
I leaned down to say hi to her, and she said, looked at me, she said, "Daddy changed the world." That's what Gianna said, his daughter. Daddy changed the world. And I believe she was right. Not because this kind of injustice stopped, it clearly hasn't, but because the ground has shifted, because it's changed minds and mindsets, because it laid the groundwork for progress. COVID-19 has further ripped a path of destruction through every community in America, but no one has been spared. But the devastation in communities of color has been nothing short of stunning. Just
communities of color, those are broad and ambiguous terms. That has nothing to do with black folk. That has everything to do with everyone else but you.
Look at the numbers. 40% of frontline workers, nurses, first responders, grocery store workers, are Americans of color, and many are still living on the edge. 1 in 10 black Americans is out of work today.
So why don't you give us reparations and then you don't have to worry about us being out of work?
11 Latino Americans is out of work today. 1 in 7 households in America, about 1 in 4 black, 1 in 5 Latino households in America, report that they don't have enough food to eat in the United States of America. Black and Latino Americans are dying of COVID-19 at rates nearly...
See, you see how they keep grouping us with everyone else? No diss to my Latino brothers and sisters, but y'all didn't build this country. No diss, but you didn't build the country, and that's the problem. I can't go to Mexico and take claim over some shit I didn't do over there. They're not going to allow me to do that. But only here, you can come over here, have a better start than people who are ancestors of the people who built the country, and then they'll flip it and be like, you lazy. Man, fuck that.
3 times that of white Americans. And it's not white Americans' fault, but just a fact. And the Americans now know it, especially younger Americans. One of the reasons I'm so optimistic about this nation is that today's generation of young Americans is the most progressive, thoughtful, inclusive generation that America has ever seen. And they are pulling us toward justice in so many ways.
What the fuck is this motherfucker talking about, man? What is he? Who wrote this shit, man? I would have ended that a long time ago. Just an alligator roll. Just taking you on a... What the fuck is he talking about? And what the fuck does this have to do with what are you planning on doing for black folk? See, because you got all these black folk to put you in office and take certain states like South Carolina and all this other shit, but you're still talking about the COVID-19 and talking about how we ought to, black folk out of work. Well, what do you plan on doing specifically for black folk?
Forcing us to confront the huge gap in economic inequity between those at the top and everyone else. Forcing us to confront the existential, and yes, forcing us to confront systemic racism and white supremacy.
I wonder who wrote that where you finally said white supremacy, but I don't give a fuck about that. What's up with them? I want to get to the yams, man. I don't give a fuck about no. See, you telling us stuff we already know. See, that's some Jane Elliott, Tim Wise bullshit to me. I don't need you to tell me about white supremacy. We already know that exists. Why don't you pill us with them yams? We need that bread, bruh. We need that bread so we can start employing our own people and buying politicians and buying law enforcement. That's the problem. That's the problem. We need an economic base that is owed to us. Motherfuckers like, well, we got to build our, yeah, you're right. We got to build our own economic base. But my nigga, they still owe us anyway, though. So let's not forget that shit at all.
It's just been weeks since all of America witnessed a group of thugs, insurrectionists, a political extremist, and white supremacists violently attack the capital of our democracy. And so now's the time to act. It's time to act because...
Oh, now you want to call them white supremacists? We already know they white supremacists. Now you want to call them thugs? I don't want to hear none of that shit. That ain't got nothing to do with what the fuck you plan on doing with black folks. See, y'all got to stay on the topic, on the point. Calling them white supremacists and people like, yeah, he called them white supremacists. Well, we know they white supremacists. We don't need to hear him say it. What do you plan on doing about it? Like, the majority of those people that broke into the Capitol and did all that, they're not even facing no real charges. They bogus charges. And on top of that, they're not going to stick, and none of these people are doing jail time. Well, what do you mean, Warren? Aunt Becky from Full House's husband basically told the judge, I want to do the rest of my sentence at home because I kind of just don't want to really be here and because of the COVID issues, so I'm going to just be on house arrest at home. Okay? That's basically what he said. Motherfuckers don't even get it. You are not them. If it had been niggas, I'm not talking about the U.S. Capitol. Let niggas storm their state capitol. When the Black Panther Party stormed the state capitol with firearms, these niggas lost their mind. These white folks lost their fucking minds. That's what I'm saying, man. But and if you notice at your court plantation, you don't hear no white folks bringing up how they stormed the Capitol. Y'all don't notice that? No, ain't nobody came up to you and been like, man, you see how those ghetto ass white people stormed the Capitol? They should all go to jail. If that was black folk, woo woo. You notice ain't nobody saying that because that's called deflection. Nigga, that's called white fragility. I ain't even gonna talk about that. I'm acting like that shit don't even exist.
That's what the faith and morality call us to do. Across nearly every faith, the same principles hold. We're all God's children. We should treat each other.
No, we're not all God's children. Some of us are all Shaitan's children. Some of us are just the devil. Some of us are wolf in sheep's clothing. Some of us, no, and I don't pray to the same God as you. See, that's the problem too. Motherfuckers, as Dirty Bookman says, you need to replace the image of the white man's God. Because, nigga, they God asked them to commit crimes against us. So how could we be serving the same person and praising and worshiping the same person? And they look at what the fuck they doing. Public hangings and lynchings and all this other bullshit. But then you want to give me the Bible and be like, okay, let me pray. No, nigga, I'm good on that. And that's like I always tell you about voodoo and voodoo. They don't want niggas using that. They want niggas praying to some sucker shit. Some clown-ass fucking Cesare Borgia, and most black folk, when you start telling them about it, they get all pissed off and be like, oh, well, you know, see, you going to hell and all this other shit. And I'll be like, all right, well, how many people do you know went to heaven or hell and came back and lived to tell you about it? Fuck out of here. As Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, hell, we living in hell right now. Shit.
As we would like to be treated ourselves. And this is time to act, and this time to act is because it's what the core values of this nation call us to do. And I believe the vast majority of Americans, Democrats, Republicans, and Independents, share these values and want us to act as well.
Shepard Smith.
Exactly. And that's all you needed to know. I'm telling you right now, man, y'all motherfuckers better wake the fuck up, man, and know what the fuck's going on. I say it every week. Just like they coming out with all these new clown-ass phones and shit. These phones ain't nothing but spy equipment for the government. Trust and believe you me. That's why when they spy, I hope they, look on my shit. It ain't nothing but porno on there. I'm going to porno all day, every day, nigga. Shit, since y'all want to spy on niggas and shit, I'm about to play this. Yeah, let me see if I can do this motherfucking thing, man, because this, what the fuck is going on? There we go. Man, trying to plug this motherfucking thing in. Let me tell you something. These motherfuckers don't give a fuck about you. And you know, another thing I know is we don't take heed when the dominant white society speaks oppositional of the government. Like, I'm not saying you jump on them and cheer them on, but listen to what they saying. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I say that is because look at all these things that's going on. You got, look at Apple. Let's just take Apple for an example. Apple knew that they was slowing down phones. It's called planned obsolescence. They knew what they was doing. And then when they got busted, they just start giving the phones away. Oh, here, you can have this old ass iPhone. You know, we normally sell it for $350, but you can have it for free. Just join our company. Y'all didn't think that was by design? And then motherfuckers be wondering why they shit is slow and why it don't work. Well, because they program it that way. This is all about money. Healthcare. Look, let me tell you something. Only you can care about your health, not them. So you can't blame no systems about nothing. You got to care about your health. You got to know what the fuck is going on. You don't put your trust in the hands of no pharmaceutical company. Let me tell you something. Pharmacy means poison. That's what it means. Go get your etymology dictionary. So you start looking up that shit. You got to go look up all the shit and see how they word the shit and put the shit together, man. They flip. That's what I'm saying, man. They got all these phones. They got motherfuckers hooked. Just like the Kingsman. You can have free internet. And then the motherfucking phones was blowing up niggas' heads and shit. They know what they doing, man. With this 5G and all this bullshit. And what trips me out the most about a lot of this shit is niggas won't even believe that your PC and your phone, you don't think that's equipment for the government. You don't think the CIA, hello CIA, I know they already looking. I know they've been listening to me. They've been listening to every phone conversation you had. They just can't play the shit. Because allegedly it's against the law. You better ask Eric Snowden. And the reason why I'm saying this, I'm putting this all together because when you got the dominant white society that come out oppositional of the traditional suspected white supremacists or white supremacy as a whole, when you have other dominant white society people coming out in opposition, just listen to them. Don't cheer them on and be like, yeah, they for us. Just listen. It ain't about them being for us. Listen to what they saying. See, I was looking at this thing, man, and I was looking at how this dude, cause I was watching this thing about crack, and I'll talk about it again. They never let Freeway Ricky Ross talk about how the CIA was involved in that shit. Ever. Ever. And I said, I find that quite interesting. Hold on, let's see. I just want you to hear a little bit of this shit. Just listen to a little bit of it.
The current state of surveillance and what, if anything, has changed since your revelations?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing that's changed since I was in 2013 is now it's mobile first everything. Mobile was still a big deal, right? And the intelligence community was very much grappling to get its hands around it and to deal with it. But now people are much less likely to use a laptop than use a desktop than use, any kind of wired phone.
So basically, we just gonna put everything in the phone, and these suck-ass niggas, include me, just gonna be glued to their phone the whole fucking time.
Then they already use a smartphone. And both Apple and Android devices, unfortunately, are not especially good in protecting your privacy. Think right now.
Did y'all hear that? Because, black folk, when it's a nigga saying this shit, they don't want to hear it. But when it's a white person saying, hey, man, a white dude said that the Apple phone and the Android phone ain't good for you. You know how y'all niggas get?
You got a smartphone, right? You might be listening to this on a train somewhere in traffic right now. Or you, Joe, right now. You got a phone somewhere in the room, right? The phone is turned off, or at least the screen is turned off. It's sitting there. It's powered on. And if somebody sends you a message, the screen blinks to life. How does that happen? Right. How is it that if someone from any corner of the earth dials a number, your phone rings and nobody else's rings? How is it that you can dial anybody else's number and only their phone rings, right? Every smartphone, every phone at all, is constantly connected to the nearest cellular tower. Every phone, even when the screen is off, you think it's doing nothing. You can't see it because radio frequency emissions are invisible. It's screaming in the air, saying, here I am, here I am. Here is my IMEI, I think it's individual manufacturer's equipment identity, and IMEI, individual manufacturer's subscriber identity.
This nigga's breaking this shit down.
I could be wrong on the breakout there, but the acronyms are the IMEI and the IMSI, and you can search for these things. They're two globally unique identifiers that only exist anywhere in the world in one place, right? This makes your phone different than all the other phones. The IMEI is burned into the handset of your phone. No matter what SIM card you change to, it's always going to be the same, and it's always going to be telling the phone network it's this physical handset. The IMESI is in your SIM card, right? And this is what holds your phone number, right? It's basically the key, the right to use.
This nigga making a nigga want to get a this nigga making a nigga want to get a flip phone. Nigga, fuck what you talking about, nigga. I'm about to get a pager, nigga. This nigga Eric Snowden is hard though. Niggas don't be fucking with him. But nigga, y'all need to go watch that movie called Snowden, man. That shit hard, man. This nigga is hard. He breaking this shit down, though. No diss, but the nigga is breaking this shit down. And it is true. That's why they got so many goddamn cell phone towers. And for all you dumb motherfuckers that don't understand, cell phone companies do not own the towers. They lease the tower space. The towers have their own stock ticker symbol, and it's traded publicly on the stock market. I think it's like $190 a share. The actual stock, I forgot what the ticker symbol is, but the towers are actually traded on the stock market. But each cell phone company does not own the towers. They just lease the space. That's all they do. They don't own the actual towers. And that's why when police are looking at you commit a crime, they got to see what tower your cell phone pings from. Because they're not going to let one cell phone company just own all the towers. They'll just let you lease space.
That phone number. And so your phone is sitting there doing nothing, you think, but it's constantly shouting and saying, I'm here. Who is closest to me? That's a cell phone tower. And every cell phone tower with its big ears is listening for these little cries for help. And going, all right, I see Joe Rogan's phone, right? I see Jamie's phone. I see all these phones that are here right now. And it compares notes with the other network towers, and your smartphone compares notes with them to go, who do I hear the loudest? And who you hear the loudest is a proxy for proximity, for closeness, distance, right? They go, whoever I hear more loudly than anybody else, that's close to me. So you're going to be bound to this cell phone tower, and that cell phone tower is going to make a note, a permanent record, saying this phone handset with this phone number.
Man, I ain't even finna get into it, man. That shit is deep. Motherfucking Eric Snowden is niggas better go watch that movie, man. Go watch that movie. It's called Snowden. That motherfucker was working for the CIA. Now, like I said before, if motherfuckers will slow down your phone and then have you thinking, oh, my phone is old. No, nigga, your phone is not old. That's planned obsolescence. They slowing down your shit on purpose. Nigga, that's by design, nigga. Anything they give you, they already know what the fuck, how long it's gonna last, when it's gonna take a shit, and when you gonna have to go get a new one. They already know what it is. Like I said before, niggas, man, a nigga tried to tell me one time, like, yeah, well, Bill Gates said, man, we should take the vaccination. I said, nigga, Bill Gates can't even solve the viruses on Microsoft Windows. But I'm about to listen to him about taking a virus that could potentially kill me. Man, get the fuck out of here. And I was like, hey, my nigga, and Bill Gates ain't no doctor, bro. He was like, oh, man, yeah, you right. I didn't even think about that. I'm like, man, dumbass niggas, man. Nigga just believe anything a nigga say on TV. Like, god damn, man. I was like, man, what's wrong with you niggas, man? All you go getting virus vaccinations ass motherfuckers. And then one black lady got Bell palsy and shit. That still didn't scare niggas enough. Niggas still like, I'm willing to go get my vaccination. Well, go ahead and go get that shit, clown. Damn, man. I'll be like, boy, I tell you, man, niggas are the dumbest suck ass niggas I've ever seen in my life. Just believe anything. I don't want to get sick, so I'm going to go get it. Okay, nigga. You know how I mean niggas I done seen, man? Don't even get me started on that shit, man. So if the government is capable of this plandemic or scandemic, right? And they know niggas is out of work for the most part. They know niggas need reparations, which is owed to us. They mention everybody else but us, right? And they know that damn near everything is on the stock market. Your melanin is traded on the stock market. Everything you think of is traded on the stock market, right? And they know the stock market dictates the pace of everything else. Well, the stock market right now is doing good. So why don't you just go ahead and give us our 60 trillion or whatever the fuck you gonna give us, which should equal about 10 million apiece for every foundational black American. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker be like, what you mean? Black nigga, first of all, let me tell you something. My last name, I know good and goddamn well I'm a foundational black American because I got the same last name as a president. And I'm not talking about none of the presidents, and I ain't talking about not near one of them presidents the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I'm talking about one of the presidents from motherfucking 1700 type shit, nigga. So, nigga, I know my peoples was there building this shit. Nigga, and I know it was probably a nigga just like me out there talking shit like, man, that's some bullshit, nigga. For real. I'm just telling y'all niggas, man. It's so funny, too, how they, in the executive order of Joe 94 crime bill Biden, he want to help the moist community, the LBGTQ. And to all my black LBGTQ, LMNOP, XYZ niggas, look, y'all niggas is black first. So y'all niggas is not like these white folk. Nigga, and what you mean, Warren? Okay, if you are, then ask Ed Buck. That nigga had hella moist niggas in his house, and they all smoking crystal meth, and he end up being alive, but all the niggas end up dying. And the Democratic Party never even said nothing to this nigga about that shit. Talking about he a big time donor. But why ain't nobody pressing charges on this nigga? Just like all the motherfuckers that stormed the Capitol, like I said before. It's all in one. That's why when you see a whole bunch of niggas line up to go get a new iPhone, you should be looking like, what's so good about this that, the last one don't have? What more can they do to a phone? You tell me. Look, this... I told a nigga, I was like, man, they was like, yeah, the new iPhone. I was like, man, hey, do the new iPhone, and I was like, snapping my finger. I was like, hey, do the new iPhone get reparations? The nigga was like, what? I was like, reparations, nigga, for black folks? Do they got an app about that on there? The nigga started laughing. I'm like, other than that, nigga, I'm not finna go jump out the window and spend no $2,000 on no fucking phone that I know in a year is gonna be obsolete. And they gonna be programming the shit to slow down. It's called planned obsolescence. These motherfuckers should look that shit up, man. These niggas don't fuck with you. Nigga, they fuck around you. Nigga. But hey, man, you already know what it is, man. For all you suck-ass, Sambo-ass, tell them about the gun line, Steve from Django, Hayward Shepherd motherfuckers. And for all y'all niggas that don't know who Hayward Shepherd is, nigga, go read the Black History Reader. No, not the Black History Reader. Go read Powernomics. I think it's in Powernomics. Because in Powernomics, it talks about meritorious manumission. There's a lot of niggas that do a meritorious manumission. What is that? Meritorious manumission is a nigga that do some shit, some sucker shit for white folk so they can get... Basically, it's some Sambo reciprocity. That's all it is. Reciprocity is something for something. It's like quid pro quo. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta watch those niggas too, because there's a lot of niggas out there like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, who's Hayward Shepherd? Hayward Shepherd was the nigga that saw John Brown and them coming and ran and told the slave masters, oh, John Brown is coming, massa. John Brown is coming. That nigga. And they gave meritorious manumission. You know what I'm saying? And he had already got it too, because he was already telling on niggas. If I'm not mistaken, I gotta go back and read that shit in that book. But the nigga was basically just a dry snitch, just telling on niggas and shit. You know what I'm saying? And not telling on white folk, just telling on the black folk. So, hey man, if you one of them motherfuckers, guilty nigga, I don't fuck with you, nigga. But if you ain't, we good. But if not, you a motherfucking Sambo, I don't fuck with you, nigga. And I'm gonna tell you right now, stay the fuck away from motherfuckers that ain't with that shit. That's why I need to come out with an anti-Sambo kit and put some shit together. And matter of fact, I think that's what I'm about to do. And start giving that shit to people. People that I think is a Sambo. Or just giving it to motherfuckers that be like, hey man, check this out. This is an anti-Sambo kit. This is so you don't have to go to Sambo rehab or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Because some niggas be having Sambo relapses and shit. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So we got to figure that out. But hey man, I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. If you on some tell them about the gun line boss shit, nigga, guilty nigga, hey man, pay your power bill because it's cold as a motherfucker out here, nigga. I'm out. Peace.